What's up everybody, how's it going? I'm the Timmeister and welcome to Dunswell. What's happening in this episode, you ask? Well, there's a ton of interesting things on the agenda, some of which I had no intention of doing until a commenter let me know of a couple of things. Well, several commenters let me know of several things. One of which is, I never noticed this, but since I transformed this roundabout into all highways, therefore increasing the traffic capacity, I suppose, I effectively cut off this entire section of town from this other side of town from pedestrian access. There are no sidewalks, there's nothing that permits pedestrians from walking to one side of town to the next. So really, I've effectively increased the amount of traffic coming through this roundabout, so that's not a good thing. Another thing, I was never really aware of this, but after somebody commented that I should raise my taxes, at the time I was like, okay, why would I want to do that? Like, sure, it brings in more money, but, you know, citizens tend to complain. But I was never made aware of this. But I guess if you set your taxes to 12%, this is kind of the sweet spot where citizens won't complain, and it allows you to bring in a little bit more money into your budget. So we're still doing all right in terms of weekly income, but boosting our taxes by 3% for all three types of zones should help out just a little bit. We'll see how that works out in a couple minutes, probably. So first thing, let's fix this pedestrian connection issue. And to do that, it's going to be super simple. All I have to do is build a pedestrian path from one side to the next. And what I was thinking is maybe building a tunnel right under. So I can simply go over to this side of the road, to the very end of this sidewalk. And then what I was thinking is maybe just having this go into tunnel mode. Nope, what's going on here? Am I too close to the road? Maybe if I just place it a little farther from the road. There, perfect. So yeah, what I'm thinking is just maybe building a tunnel right under the roundabout that will pop out somewhere under here. And another thing too, somebody recommended that I provide pedestrian access to the industrial zone as well. Now they do have pedestrian access right now. It's just like if somebody lives over here to walk to work, they'll have to do a giant detour. They'll have to walk across this bridge, go up, and wherever their job is. But at least if I provided another pedestrian access along this highway bridge, it would make a big shortcut. So what I was thinking of doing is making a pedestrian path, like maybe in between this bridge, or I don't know, we'll figure that out in just a moment. But first, let's bridge the gap between the roundabout. So we'll have a path going like this. We'll have that turn in like that. Not really a big fan of the little bump or the little hill that it makes, but anyway. And to connect the industrial zone, I think what I can do is just branch off of this path here. And then come along. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a bridge parallel to the road bridge. And then I'm gonna cheat a little bit using Move It. And I'm just gonna smush these two together. Okay, here, I'm gonna raise this. I find that this bridge is pretty low. It's like, yeah, it's basically a floating bridge at this point. It's not the best. That's not the most ideal situation, except if you're in Seattle, maybe. All right, so I'm just gonna raise this a tad so we can at least see the pillars that are under the bridge. Yeah, that makes a little more sense. So unfortunately, this bridge is impassable for boats. But it's not that wide of a river anyway, so I can't see any boats coming through here. There, and I'm just gonna make a nice little slope in our ped bridge. That'll follow the contour of the bridge, just like that. and then we'll connect this all up. We'll have to use anarchy. Why is this in bridge mode? Does it have to be? Yeah, why is this like stuck in bridge mode? I mean, it's fine. I'll just use surface painter to get rid of these little sprites. Well, it screws up the path though. Hold on, I'm gonna fix this. Oh, I know why. I don't think this was at 0 meters. Yeah, so this was the problem. It's because I raised this node without having the rest of the path connected up to it. So if I connect this up like that and then raise this node, it should fix everything. And it does. Perfect. Well, that's not too bad. So we at least have pedestrian access directly to the industrial zone. And then where do I connect this up from here? Oh, okay, so yeah, we are having the same issue on this side now. So unfortunately, I'll have to destroy this path. Bring our bridge over to here. 0 meters in height. And then continue the path at ground level. I suppose we'll just connect it up to this road. Just like that. And then from there, the people can walk to wherever they need. And there we have it. A nice pedestrian bridge coming along the river. So we're going to see the results of this fairly quickly. Look at that. There's already some people using the path going under the roundabout. Quite a bit of pedestrians, actually. Wow. This is really good. So that's going to greatly reduce the amount of traffic coming through here, or at least from like one side of the street to the next. It'll encourage walking for sure. And I'm assuming that, you know, once the city starts expanding, we're going to want to have a nice network of trails coming through town in certain places, have a ton of nice parks and whatnot. And that's going to improve on a lot of things. So those were the two main things that I wanted to get out of the way. So we raised our taxes. I see nobody's complaining and no buildings are getting abandoned except, well, maybe a couple, but those were abandoned due to there was not enough workers. So that problem probably comes from the amount of residential demand. So there's simply not enough workers in the city. I can see that there's some commercial buildings getting abandoned. There's no customers, so yeah, there's just simply not enough people in town. So we're gonna want to address that, and to do that, the solution is super simple. We're just gonna zone some more residential areas. I have all of this land available, so we're gonna go ahead and start laying down some streets and fill this entire section in with some houses. How does that sound to you guys? Now this may cause a death wave at some point, but a death wave isn't really something you can avoid. It's more how you deal with your death wave than preventing one altogether. Because no matter how good you are at the game, no matter how careful you are, you're gonna have a death wave no matter what. Yeah, I think that's fine. And let's start going crazy with residential. And as I was explaining in the last episode too, I'm really excited to get to our next milestone, which is the big town status. And that happens at 7,000 people. So right now we're at 5,600. We only have just over 1,000, well, like 1,400 or 1,300 something to go. So not a ton of population to go. But I'm super excited for this 2x2 kilometer square. And then we can really start to expand the city in some interesting ways. So Right now we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. We're fixing our abandonment issues, which are basically caused by not having enough people. And we're advancing our way over to the next milestone so we can expand the city further. So I'm going to go crazy with residential. This is probably going to cause a death wave, but it's okay. And I like to, sprinkle in a little bit of commercial here and there. No matter what neighborhood you live in, you always have that one corner store that's close to your house. And in Dunswell, that's no exception. I think that's all right. And actually, before things build up too quickly, I'd like to have maybe a couple of parks over in this part of town to, get some more citizens to move in, increase land value. It's only good things that can happen when you place down a lot of parks. Alright, so I'm just going to accelerate time, just send it to the max, and wait till the town expands, basically. That's all we have to wait for. And while that's going on, maybe let's check our services. I like to do this at least once every episode, just to make sure everything's going all right. Water availability, sewage treatment, it's not going to be an issue right now, but I think I should just proactively place down another treatment plant. Maybe, I'll place it right here. Because I know if I don't do it now, I'm going to forget, and then, we're really going to need it at one point. Oh yeah, this must be the water pipe that was going, yeah. That went over to the pumps and stuff that were out of the map, so I'm just going to remove that. And we'll probably use that segment at some point in the future. There, everybody at least has some water. Everybody's good. And we fixed our water issue, so availability is to the max. In terms of power, we're still doing good. We're gonna have to address that one day, but not doing too bad now. Healthcare is good. Death care. Oh, what? Oh, okay. So yeah, we have 3,000 capacity and only 28. I was like, what? 0%? There's no way nobody has died yet. Oh shoot. I gotta add some water over here. There, so... we'll connect this all up. Alright, everybody has water, and almost everybody has power, but it's kind of their fault for establishing themselves over in this corner. I kind of don't want these guys to become abandoned, but I'm just going to wait until everything expands and provides power. What was I saying? I was explaining something before, just a minute ago. We were going through services. So we just went through healthcare, we're okay. Wow, average health, okay, most 67, not bad. We may want another clinic over here, but I do have a hospital. I'm gonna wait. Maybe once this whole area gets all built up, then I'll place down a hospital. Yeah. In terms of death care, we're okay. Child care is good. Elder care. We're going to have to address this pretty soon because our population is likely going to start to age. Adults and seniors. Yeah, so we're basically, we basically flipped our demographics since the last time I checked it. Now everybody's really aging. So I'm probably going to want to preemptively place an elder care building. 22,000, not terribly expensive. Yeah, so I'm going to place an elder care building. I mean, I don't really want to place it in the new part of town, or maybe I should. I'll place it in the new part of town. Right here. And education, so we're doing okay in the elementary sector. High school as well, we're doing very well. University, we don't even have a university yet. I'd eventually like to get into that, because I don't believe we have any. Yeah, we got nothing yet. We don't even have the base university yet. But we're unlocking it in almost, well, less than 500 people now, so we'll just wait up on that. So yeah, I mean, things are going good in Dunswell. I'm actually really liking this town, and I'm having no second thoughts on this map either. Like, I'm still loving the map. I can't wait until we get all these 3 squares purchased in just a couple minutes, and then we can really start to expand in some interesting parts of town. Holy jeez, we got a fire. A pretty big one at that. Do I want to place on another fire station? I mean, oh, that's not fire. I probably do. I thought I placed another fire station. Oh my god, that's police. I did place another fire station. But yeah, police. Are we struggling with that? Crime rate's still really low with this one police station. So we're all right. Nobody's complaining of any crime over here. I think we're all right. Not enough educated workers. So that's probably, you know, we have a large adult population now, and a lot of them are unskilled or uneducated because we don't have a university. So we're going to want to place a university down fairly soon. Man, I'm just so happy this is working so well. Like, oh my god, look at all the people. Woo! So, yeah, at this stage, really, the only thing we're waiting on is to reach 7,000 people so we get this extra square, or all the extra perks that come along with it, including a ton of money. I'm not sure what the bonus is for reaching this milestone, but anyways, I'm sure it's a fair amount. And then afterwards, we're going to look at expanding our industrial zone because our demand is getting a little high. And once we purchase this extra square here up on the north end of town, I'll start expanding north to fill in this little peninsula here. And we're eventually going to need to build a seaport. And one thing that I was just thinking of actually before starting this episode, I just want to talk about that for a minute, is I don't have access to any rail over in this part of town. Even after we unlock all of these squares, I'm not going to have any rail whatsoever coming here. And I wanted to kind of take advantage of this line here because it goes directly out of town. So I'm probably going to have to wait until we unlock this square so I can branch off of this rail line and bring it over to here, wherever the seaport's going to be. I think the seaport should be here just because there's no like specialization land. There's no like, you know, oil lands or anything. We won't be wasting any of that land up. So I think here would be the best option. But yeah, that's the only obstacle, is I have no rail access until we unlock this square. So I'll just have to be mindful of that once we do expand and start placing down some more buildings. And holy geez, there's so many fires going on here. I mean, why is there so many fires? I mean, fire protection's good. Anyway, whatever, as long as they're getting put out, that's the main thing. And boom, look at that, we are officially a big town. So let's briefly go over what happens in Big Town. So of course we unlock our new square. Okay, awesome. We have campus areas. We have a ton of new services. New office specialized. Oh yeah. Okay, this is going to be interesting. I've never actually looked into what is the IT cluster. I know what it is, but I never really had the chance to play with it yet. So we'll see what that's all about. Leisure specialization. That's good. Another boatload of policies. We have some high density zoning now and office zones. That's really good. A couple of new paths, and a ton of new service buildings. Just a ton of new buildings and a university. Awesome. I'm super happy. Okay, well, first thing, let's go ahead and buy up some squares. But hold on, let me think here for a minute. Maybe, should I just go ahead and purchase this square? Because then it would at least provide us access to this rail network. Let me check first. Okay, we don't even have access to a harbor yet until 30,000 people and 40,000 for the cargo hub. Because the cargo harbor doesn't even have rail access. Only the cargo hub does, so maybe it's not even worth purchasing this square yet. I think I'm just going to keep with the original plan here and purchase these 4 squares. And there we have it. We have a nice large, what would this be? 16 square kilometers, I believe. Yeah, because there'd be 4 on each side. So we now have 16 square kilometers of area that we can play in. Oh my god, it looks like we are having a crime issue over in this part of town. So let's go ahead and place down a small police station. Yeah, right there. Well, that'll fix that up. All right. So, at this point, not enough educated workers. I feel like there's a lot of commercial areas that are having that same issue. We should probably address this. However, there's no suitable location for a university, I feel, yet. I mean, we can go ahead and place it literally anywhere. Maybe what I'll do... Now, this may not be the final resting place of this university, but I'm just going to extend this street ever so slightly. And we'll place down either 75,000. Okay, we can afford it. I'll place down this university right here. So at least we have it. Now, this is likely going to move once I really start to focus on this area, but at least we have it now, and that's going to address the uneducated issue that we're having. Are we having any garbage issues? Landfill usage, ooh, it's up to 63%, but we have an incineration plant now, so that is fantastic. Okay. Before I place the incineration plant, though, now we have all of this usable space. Now let's start expanding north. And then maybe we'll have the incineration plant just across this bridge here. So let's place that like so. And then... let's do this. And then we'll kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone in this situation again. So our industrial demand is rising. So we'll go ahead and address that, placing down some more industrial zone. And then we'll, I suppose we'll just go and place our incineration plant. Maybe I should just place it right here, right across the bridge. Keep it real close to the landfills. And actually, we had a recycling center a long time ago, and I never placed it down. I think I should go ahead and do that too. That certainly is going to help out with our garbage consumption. We'll place it right there, right beside the incineration plant. Okay, and let's do a little bit of cleanup too. Oh shoot, yeah, I'm gonna have to provide some water over to these folks. There. I just wanted to make sure that there's no like weird dead ends and all kind of things. I like roads to be, you know, fully connected up and whatnot. Makes it a little bit cleaner, probably more efficient too. You know, dead ends, you kind of lose a little bit of room. You have no zones on like the end of the dead end. Oh my god, some more fires. Holy, this area is always on fire for some reason. So this landfill is full. And this one is 32% full, not too bad. At least we have some incinerators and a recycling plant, so that's gonna make a notch into it. Won't fill up as quickly, and we might actually, you know, be emptying the landfills a bit. So yeah, that's done. We have that sorted out. And so far the city's looking nice. Over in this corner, we're expanding very well. People are moving in. When's the next milestone? Small city, and that's at 9,500 people. Wow, that's not a big jump. That's not unrealistic that we're gonna hit that in very shortly. We only have like 2,000 people to go. So what should we do for now? Well, we've pretty much addressed all of the critical issues the town had at the moment. Now I suppose we can just focus on expansion. Alright, so what I'd like to do in this episode before ending it, I'm going to accelerate the footage for a little bit, but I'd like to get all of our road infrastructure down for the downtown area, at least part of it, so we can at least have our grid, and then we'll move on from there. Maybe next episode we'll start to zone over where downtown's going to be, because there's kind of a balance in City Skylines. Like, the game can be played however you like, and there's no right or wrong way to do anything. But for me, I find there's a balance between creating a functional city and an aesthetically pleasing city. Now, I know aesthetics are purely subjective. It's totally up to the individual what's pleasing and what's not. But for me, I like my cities to look realistic. And as I was saying, I'm going for a Vancouver-inspired build. So I'd like for my city to look as much as Vancouver or something like Vancouver as possible, while remaining functional. So yeah, I'm gonna take some time here and place down a grid pattern for what downtown's gonna look like. So bear with me for a couple minutes, and then we'll catch up in just a minute. Alright guys, well, I have a basic grid outline laid down for downtown. Downtown's going to be quite large, by the way. It's probably going to be this entire section, and this grid pattern, or whatever I have laid down right now, is subject to change over time, you know, as we unlock new buildings, which may not fit in this grid. I might have to do some rearranging, but really, my goal with this starter grid, if you will, was really just to set the base for downtown, how everything's going to look like, and how everything's going to take shape. So it gives me like a visual representation on how to proceed with expanding over in this corner. So with this being laid down, I think we're gonna end the episode right now. Next episode, like, oh crap, I'm just noticing now, our residential demand is really high, so that's perfect because we're gonna start to expand in downtown and hopefully reach our small city milestone, where again we're gonna start to unlock some pretty interesting things. Like, you know, we're starting to unlock some public transportation related stuff, you know, train stations and whatnot. We're really gonna want to take advantage of all that. I still don't have access to rail though, and it looks like we don't unlock any new squares. So again, we're gonna have to be mindful of how we go about building all of this. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and keep the tips coming. You know, there's a ton of stuff that I never thought of before or that I'm forgetting. So I really appreciate you guys leaving comments on how or when I should do things and whatnot. So keep them coming, guys. I really appreciate it. So that's it for me. Like I said, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. And until the next episode, take care, guys.